Alright, sorry guys, my freaking dog was barking and messing up my video and I got kind of lost. But anyways, what I did is I pretty much just typed out this whole query because it's easier for me to explain if I just go ahead and type it out first rather than trying to type and explain at the same time. But anyways, whenever the user first enters the chat room and there's already a history of people chatting, then here is what you want to do. In everyday terms, before I talk about the code, what you want to do is you want to get the last or the most recent 50 messages. Now, once you get those, you want to display them to the user so they, have a little idea of what the heck people were talking about. So, the first thing you want to do is you want to say, okay, I want to get the most recent 50 messages. So you pretty much build a query like this one up here, but you get the most recent 50 messages by saying, okay, descending, which means get the message ID, which pretty much 0 is the oldest one, and the higher the number is the newest one or the most recent one. So that's why you do descending from high to low, which means most recent to old, the last 50. So what this does, this little statement, is it returns a table with the most recent messages, the 50 most recent messages. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select all of the information that we need, and instead of saying from chat like we did up here, what we can do is we can actually say from these results. So those are two different ways, and if you guys don't know about this, then watch my MySQL tutorials, and you'll understand what this means. So you're going to select that as last 50, and you're going to order those results ascending from from old to new. So whenever you get the messages, you want to get the most recent messages, but whenever you display them, just like before, like in every single chat room or instant messenger, you want your oldest ones at the top and then your new ones are at the bottom. So that's what we're doing. So basically, in everyday language, this is what we did. We built two queries. The first query was to retrieve only the new messages, and that's if you've been in the chat room chatting for a while. Now, as soon as you enter the chat room, the very first time you want to load only the 50 most recent messages, so that's what this query does right now. So now we have two different queries built, but how do we display it on the screen? Well, this is very simple. Basically, we execute it, and I didn't mean display it, I mean execute it. So else, what this does right here is it executes the proper query. So if you've been chatting for a while, then you're going to have this query. If you just entered the room, you're going to have this query. But this line executes the proper query. And you guys are thinking, all right, so that's pretty cool. That's how you get new messages. Function complete, right? Not exactly, because this is indeed AJAX, adjacent JavaScript, and XML. So what we need to do now is we need to build the XML response, because remember, this PHP file, this is going to be sitting on your server, and it's going to be waiting for the user to call it. And whenever the user calls it, it's the job of this PHP file to send back an XML file, basically an XML response. So it's going to be sent back whenever the user wants to get new messages. So right after this result, what we want to do is we want to start building the XML response. And now in the next video, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you guys how to format the XML file to send it back to the user, and then the user is going to interpret it and pretty much pick out all the data and display it in their chat room. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.